Welcome back to my home kitchen.
Now, something that nobody ever tells you when you graduate from culinary school is that any holiday where somebody's going to give you a gift, they're going to get you a cookbook. You'll be inundated with them. So I was looking through an old cookbook for ideas for what we're going to do this week, and it was staring at me. Flan! We're going to make flan, baby! It's a delicious Spanish recipe that has its roots in French cooking, as most things do, with a caramel topping and an egg custard on top that you invert after you bake it. So let's jump right into it.
Preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or about 175 centigrade. We're going to start off with the caramel topping for the flan. We're going to need a pan that is preferably light in color so we can see how dark the caramel is getting. We're going to add 3/4 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of water, and 1 teaspoon of freshly squeezed lemon juice. Now it's important that once you start cooking the sugar, you don't touch it. You'll see me using a brush to brush on a little bit of water to the sides. When sugar is in a liquid state, it's looking for basically anything to grab onto, including little itty bitty bits of sugar that may have boiled out of the saute pan and stuck to the sides. So you're gonna wanna try to get those off the sides of the pan as quickly as possible. While your caramel is darkening, we're gonna boil some water that we're going to put in the bottom of our bain-marie. I'm using this square dish and a pie pan to cook my flan in because they fit together really nice. Your caramel is going to come to your desired doneness, and when it is, you immediately take it from the heat and put it in the baking dish that is sitting in your bain-marie. Now it's been warming up a little bit, so it's going to keep the caramel a little bit fluid. That's good, we want that. You're going to evenly distribute the caramel in the bottom of the pan as best as you can. Now the original recipe from the book doesn't have you do this, but this is just my preference. Sugar doesn't mix well with cold liquids. So I'm going to heat up the milk, the sugar, and the vanilla together, not until they are hot, but until they are just warm. Now while your milk mixture is heating up, you're going to want to crack 6 large eggs into a bowl and whisk them just a little bit. Now remember, you don't want your milk to be boiling, just warm enough for the sugar to have dissolved. But we're still going to temper this into the eggs. We don't want the eggs curdling at all. So very slowly, add little bit by little bit your warm mixture into the eggs while whisking constantly. This will allow the eggs to come up to the same temperature as the milk without curdling them. Once the milk and the eggs are incorporated, we're going to get a sieve and we're going to strain the mixture into our baking tin. We're going to strain it because we don't want any stray bits of egg in the mixture. We want this to be as clean as possible. Now we are going to very carefully move our entire setup into our oven. You can see here I was tempting surface tension. Don't do what I did. Once your mixture is in the oven, we're going to set a timer for 55 minutes to 1 hour. This is going to be a slow bake, but keeping it in that bain-marie is going to keep the temperature very even and low. Now's a good time to start cleaning up. Pet a cat. Pet another cat, even though she hates it. Get harassed by the first cat. Whatever chores you have to do, get them done now. After our flan has baked for an hour, we're going to take it out of the oven and remove the baking tin from the bain-marie and put it in our refrigerator for 2 hours. At least 2 hours. You want this to be cool when you serve it. You want it to be cold. A 2-hour stint in the refrigerator has left us with a beautiful custard with a little bit of the melted caramel on top. Before you invert the flan, you're going to want to grab a blunt instrument, maybe a butter knife. I'm using a small offset spatula to loosen up the edges around the sides of the pan. When the sides are loose, you're going to place your serving plate on top of the pan and you'll invert it very quickly. Now there is a lot of liquid left over after the bake. That's okay, you can drain it off. I just kind of left it because it didn't bother me any. It's time to give it a taste. Thanks for joining me today on My Home Kitchen. I hope you learned something, and I hope you give this a shot. If you enjoyed my video, give me a like, a subscribe, maybe say something down below if you tried making this yourself. I'll see you next time on My Home Kitchen.